Biblical rest. Resting is not the same as idleness. Idleness can be defined as inactivity, lethargy, and denial of purpose. Rest is different from idleness. When you are idle, you do nothing and you are not resting either. When you are idle, your thoughts wander everywhere without direction and the devil will try to use it. You see, the devil is very active in leading you to sin and killing your productivity. Resting is not a draining entertainment. Can lying on the sofa and watching Netflix be considered rest? No. While there is nothing wrong with watching TV shows, this sort of activity often does not truly refresh your soul or body. It has the potential to drain you and keep your mind engaged in unwanted thoughts. As Christians, we are called to glorify God in everything. Does your entertainment choice glorify God? Will you spend the time the way you do today if today is the day of Christ's return? 2 Thessalonians 3:11. For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, working not at all, but are busybodies. Resting is not chit-chat and gossip. Some of us consider vain chatter and gossip as relaxation techniques. This is not true. It is good to have nice conversations with friends and families as a means of refreshment and relationship building, but that is not the same as vain chatter and gossip. Vain talks and gossips have no good purpose and do not glorify God. What talks can you avoid during your break time in the office or college? Do you get involved in gossip and rumors? 1 Timothy 5:13. And withal they learn, to be idle, wandering about from house to house, and not only idle but tattlers also and busybodies, speaking things which they ought not. Rest is not an excuse for laziness. Lazy people always find reasons to justify their laziness. Rest cannot be used as an excuse for laziness. Work and rest are God's ideas. Rest glorifies God, as it proves your dependence on Him for all your needs and wants. Rest acknowledges that God is in control and gives Him the glory. This is not the same as laziness. Laziness can be defined as the unwillingness to act or do what God wants you to do. Ecclesiastes 10:18. By much slothfulness, the building decays, and through idleness of the hands the house droppeth through. Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury. Proverbs 21:25. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Proverbs 23:21. For the drunkard and the glutton shall come to poverty, and drowsiness shall clothe a man with rags. Proverbs 20:13. Love not sleep, lest thou come to poverty. Open your eyes, and thou shalt be satisfied with bread. Proverbs 26:13-16. The slothful man saith, there is a lion in the way, a lion is in the streets. Proverbs 13:4. The soul of the sluggard desireth, and hath nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made fat. Proverbs 20:4. The sluggard will not plow because of the cold, therefore shall he beg in harvest, and have nothing. Proverbs 19:15. Slothfulness casteth into a deep sleep, and an idle soul shall suffer hunger. Ecclesiastes 4:5. The fool foldeth his hands together, and eateth his own flesh. Ezekiel 16:49. Behold, this was the iniquity of thy sister Sodom, pride, fullness of bread, and abundance of idleness was in her and her daughters, neither did she strengthen the hand of the poor and needy. Matthew 10:38. And he that taketh not his cross, and followeth after me is not worthy of me. Resting is casting burdens on God. God is the one carrying us through the journey of life. We need not carry the burdens of worry, fear, anxiety and fear. We can do our best with God's help, cast our cares and burdens over Him and relax. We must leave the results to Him who is in control of everything. Matthew 11:28. Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavily laden, and I will give you rest. Psalms 55:22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and He shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. 1 Peter 5:7. Casting all your care upon Him, for He careth for you. Resting is standing in God's presence. We can rest by spending quiet time with God. Just sitting in His presence and listening to what He speaks to your soul and admiring His works can be one of the best refreshments you can have. Job 37:14. Hearken unto this, O Job, stand still, and consider the wondrous works of God. Resting is trusting. Resting in God means trusting that God knows what is best for you and believing that He would work all things for your good. Trust is the opposite of fear. Resting is trusting in God's power. Psalms 46:10. 7 The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. 8 Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations He hath made in the earth. 9 He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth, He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder, He burneth the chariot in the fire. 10 Be still, and know that I am God, I will be exalted among the heathen, I will be exalted in the earth. 11 The Lord of hosts is with us, the God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah.